Right. What are we on? Are we 1 minute past now? Or the 1 minute past? Let's make a start. So I'll kick us off then. So yeah, welcome to our Getting to Know Your Platform Modules webinar today. Thank you for coming. So choosing a platform module appears in several common activities in your platform. So you often need to choose a module when you're creating an email template or when you're creating a workflow. And it's also when you're adding a new gadget to your dashboard as well.
Yeah, when you're completing those activities, your choice of module directly affects the options available to you and the results that you see. That's why it is important to understand what modules are available and how they work. The Q&A will be open throughout the session, so please add in any questions you think of as we go. And as usual, today's session's being recorded, so you can share with your team afterwards.
You get to see our faces again if you want.
Probably have enough for us. So just quick introductions to myself first. I'm Frank, one of the Access Planet Customer Success Managers.
Yeah, and I'm Jamie. I'm one of the implementation managers here at Access Planet as well. So nice to have you on board. What we're going to do is have a quick look at today's agenda.
So we will start with an overview of what modules are, where you can find them, and why using the right one for your task makes a difference. Then we will go through the most commonly used modules and examples of how they are used. Finally, we will wrap up with the steps to take to find the right module for your task. So Jamie, start us off. What are modules?
I don't know, mate.
It's fine.
No, so there are three kind of main areas of the platform where you're going to need to choose modules. So you'll need to choose a module when you are creating new workflows, when you are creating new dashboard gadgets, and when you're creating new email templates as well. So when you select the module, you're telling the platform where to get the information from for the thing that you're creating. So as a bit of an example, when you create a new workflow or automated email, the module you select determines what area of the platform your workflow is going to fire from. So let's say you wanted to trigger a workflow to send an automated email to remind users that their reward is going to expire. So to do this, you need to select the users awards module because that's where all the information about user awards is stored, including their expiry date.
As another example, maybe you're building a dashboard gadget to track the numbers of delegates who register onto classroom courses. In that case, you need the class delegates module. This contains all delegates data for those booked onto classroom courses.
And because the platform has got so many modules, it can be easy to feel a little bit overwhelmed at times when you're scrolling through the module list. But once you understand how they work, and you'll be able to confidently pick the right one. So we're just going to go and have a look at some examples now.
As Jamie just said, you will see the module drop-down box in 3 areas in your platform. The first one is where you're creating and editing dashboard gadgets. Let's zoom in a bit. This gadget has the transaction module selected. Transactions are all payments and refunds logged into the platform. So this gadget can be used to report on those.
Yeah, the second area is when you're creating and editing email templates. So just zoom us in a little bit there. Nice one. So this email template is using the purchase module, as you can see here, which means that it can be sent to people that are connected with purchases that have been made in the platform. So it can contain merge fields that will pull information about, surprise, surprise, purchases. So that'll be things like the name of the product and service that was purchased. So how many of those were purchased, the name of the person who purchased it, so on and so forth. So the module selection in email templates is very important because this choice changes what merge fields you can pull into your email. So as we can see here, this is an email template with the purchase module, as we saw a minute ago. This means we can add merge fields about those purchases, and the email will automatically populate those when it sends. So compare that to an email template that has the module of delegates selected. As you can see here, the fields here are very, very different because we're looking at 2 different modules of the platform. We've got purchases, where we're going to get our purchase fields and data and info about that. With our delegate module, we're going to get information about the delegates on courses and so forth.
The third and final area is where you're creating workflows.
Nice.
This workflow uses class delegate module, which means it can only be triggered based on something happening to a delegate is added when a delegate is added to or updated on a classroom-based course. In this case, the workflow is going to trigger when a class delegate is added to the course.
Nice. So
now we know where you'll see the module drop-down box in your platform. Let's take a look at some of the more commonly used modules and how they can be used.
got ahead of myself there. I was about to do your slide.
Stop interrupting me.
I was just keen to go. Let me have it. Right. So as I said before, with so many modules available in the platform, it's easy to feel a bit unsure about which ones to choose. So you don't need to go and memorize them all. There is a great selection available, but we found that there's a clear short list of key modules that are used a lot. So let's start with some of those that you're likely to use quite often. And the first one being the delegates module.
There are multiple delegate modules available in your platform, and the one you select will depend on the outcome that you're looking for. Here we have a workflow being created with the class delegate module. As we said earlier, this means that the workflow will only trigger for delegates on classroom courses. This means that you can use it in workflows such as course reminders, course cancellations, and course surveys for any of your delegates on class-based courses. But that isn't the only delegate module available.
No, it isn't. So you can see in this screenshot that there's also, there is a click. Yes, okay, so cool. So you can see that we've got a delegate module available and an e-learning delegate module available. So in fact, there are actually 5 different delegate modules available. So don't worry, we're going to go through those now.
Yes, there is one main delegate module. You would use this if you were building a workflow where you wanted this to potentially trigger for any delegate across any course, or if you were building a dashboard gadget where you wanted to factor in delegates across all courses. For example, a gadget that shows you all delegates booked today, or the total number of cancelled delegates. This module includes delegates on classroom courses, webinar courses, e-learning courses, and document courses.
Yeah, so basically the remaining modules are all type specific. So if you wanted to create a workflow that sends webinar joining instruction details, like your Teams and Zoom links and all that kind of stuff, to delegates an hour before their webinar, for that, you would use the web delegates module, because in there you will find web course information and fields. If you wanted to send a course reminder email to delegates that include things like venue information and address details, that's where you would use the class delegates module. You're not going to find venues against e-learning delegate modules or anything like that. So class delegate modules for that one, basic venue information is going to be in there. And if you wanted to know how many people had registered onto e-learning courses this month, you would normally go to your dashboard and build with the e-learning delegates module, one of your gadgets, to use that, because it's going to show you e-learning delegates specifically.
Cheers, Jamie. Those are the delegate modules, very commonly used and for good reason. Next, we're going to talk about 2 finance modules, invoice and transaction. Both modules are commonly used in dashboards and report engine to report on finance information. The invoice module focuses on invoice information. It contains data like who is being invoiced, what is the invoice reference, how much is the invoice, when is it due.
Where's my money?
Because of this, it's really helpful for creating gadgets and reports about overdue invoices.
Transaction module.
So transaction module contains the data on payments and refunds that have been logged in your platform. It contains data like date of the transaction, value of the transaction, payment methods used. Because of this, it can be used to report on total income and the income per payment method, and refund information.
Cool. Nice, thanks. So we're going to have a look at the bookings module this time. So this is the module that contains the details of completed bookings that were processed through your basket. So while this is only ever commonly used for one thing, it made it into this list because it's there for nearly every Access Planet customer. It's kind of key. So that is to do with booking confirmation emails primarily. So just slam one of those on there for us. Cool. So because the booking represents everything that was purchased through the basket in a single record, it is perfect for automated emails confirming these, because it means that your customers get one email that covers everything to do with that booking, instead of getting an email for each delegate they booked and a separate email for each product and service that they purchased. We've got one nice email, summarizes everything together.
Next up is a placeholders module. Placeholders are the places on your courses that have been bought and reserved, but there are no delegates' names on them yet. The placeholder module is used a lot in workflows to communicate confirmations, course updates, and reminders to the key contact of the booking, while there are no delegates to email instead.
Nice. User awards were usually when people complete your course, they will get given an award. So this award also automatically tracks when those awards are about to expire, so that you can remind people to book in time as well and get those repeat bookings. So this module is really great for workflows that help keep those qualifications and requals up to date as well. So you can remind people to rebook if their certificate or award is about to expire, and also give them a nudge to those who maybe haven't completed their required awards or training by their target date just yet.
Course modules work a lot like the delegate ones we covered earlier. You've got the course module, which covers all courses, plus class and web course versions. So you can focus on a specific course type when reporting or sending emails. Workflows using the course modules are usually for internal teams or trainers. Common examples include sending sign-in sheets, sharing course date stats, alerting teams if a course is below its minimum number of bookings, and creating tasks for course-related actions.
Really good for internal admin comms, that. So before we move on, here's a quick recap of the commonly used modules. So starting off with delegates again, this is multiple different delegate modules in the platform, some more specific to a course type than others, but it's going to bring through information about delegates on courses essentially. We've also got invoices. So the invoice module is going to pull information about the invoice. So who the invoice is targeted to, the amount outstanding, the amount they've paid, status of the invoice, that kind of stuff as well. Transactions is going to go dig a little bit deeper into the transactions on an invoice. So if you're interested in having a look at payment methods, the amount that's come through per payment method, as we saw on that screenshot before, you could do that. We've got bookings as well, obviously key to tracking bookings, to triggering emails like the booking confirmation, summarizing things that come through the basket. We've got our placeholders as well. So this is a good one, especially if you're using placeholders and you're having to chase managers or whomever to give you the delegate names on courses. If you want to trigger an email to remind them, you might want to use that placeholder module there. User awards for tracking and chasing expiring awards for users as well. And then finally, course or course dates. So this is anything to do with information on course dates. Specifically, again, similar to delegates, you will find more specific modules in here. So sometimes class course or web course or e-learning course, where you'll get that course specific info and fields available.
Our final section for today is to cover the steps to take to find the right module. In this section, we'll walk through the steps to take to figure out which module to use. So your workflows, dashboards, and email templates always pull the right information.
Cool. So the first step to think about, there's 5 on here, but the first step to think about is where your data is coming from, essentially. So if you are creating a dashboard gadget, where in the platform we're sourcing information for this gadget. Are we reporting on invoices, or are we reporting on e-learning delegates or courses? So have a little think about that first. So if we are creating workflows, what area of the platform is going to have something created or updated? Is it going to be class delegates? Is it going to be course dates being created or updated? That kind of thing. What is the area of the platform? What is the data that's being changed? If we're creating email templates, what area of the platform do we want to be able to send this email from? So if you are manually triggering emails from the platform, if you want to be able to send a manual email when an invoice is overdue or something like that, the module you're going to need for that is invoices. You want to pull data from that invoice area.
If there are multiple possible modules, always choose the one at the lowest level of data, the one that represents individual records rather than broader categories. For example, if your email is going to contain information about a course and a delegate, you would use delegate. This is because a course can have many delegates, but each delegate only belongs to one course. So if you're sending an email that needs both courses and delegate details, you choose the class delegate module because it contains records for each individual delegate along with their course information.
Yeah, so once you've selected the module you think you need, check the fields that are available to you just to be sure. So for example, just give us a wee click. If you are building a dashboard gadget, check that the fields available make sense after you've made your module selection. So in this case, we've got opportunities here. I might want to be building a dashboard gadget that summarizes open opportunity value or something like that. So I'm going to go and have a look at the fields available now. I've selected that module and see if it works for me, if it's going to give me the info that I need. Another example, so if you're building an email template, check that the merge fields make sense after you've made your module selection. So in this case, I'm creating an email that I'll send based on something happening with a delegate record. So in here, I can check that I can pull through things like my course name and start date and end date and so forth. So
yeah, unless you're confident, it's then always worth checking your results, send a test email, cross-reference your results.
Always send a test email. If you do need any further help, take a look at our knowledge base. There are lots of useful resources available in there as well. How was that? It was way fast.
I went past the page, didn't it? Over to you guys. Do you have any questions for us?
Oh yeah, we'll get the old Q&A, the quit and ah. Where is our Q&A? There we go.
There's no questions yet, so as we wait for some to come in, we've just got some common questions. What is the purpose of the manager access modules?
So when you are having a look through modules in the platform, you may find that some have they're suffixed, I think, with manager access in brackets at the end. There's only a few. And those are special little modules specifically for people with the manager role. So if you are building a dashboard on behalf of a manager in your platform, you would use one of those roles. And the reason being, as an example, you may have a delegates manager access module. And what that will do is it will pull through delegate information, but only relevant to that manager and what they can see in the platform. So it is important to select the right modules when you are configuring or changing things for managers, basically.
And can we hide modules that we're not using?
We cannot at the moment, but it would be a good suggestion. Yeah, I think yeah, quite a broad list at the minute. I can see a use for that, definitely. Yeah.
And can I have gadgets on one dashboard that use different modules?
Yes, absolutely. So dashboards are really flexible, very powerful tool in the platform. When you are adding gadgets to a dashboard, each individual gadget, you will need to select a specific module and configure it. But your dashboard can contain many modules, many gadgets that use different modules. So this is how you could configure, say, a training administrator dashboard, which summarizes the total amount of outstanding invoice outstanding invoice for courses in the next 3 months, for example. Or you could have another gadget showing you where you are currently, don't have a trainer assigned on your course date. So you go wild, configure those dashboards. We've got a lot of stuff on our knowledge base as well about recommended dashboard gadgets and how to set those up as well. So take a look.
Well, it doesn't look like we've got any questions. Must have answered them all.
So that's what we're here for, isn't it? Just providing all the answers. I think maybe that's it. We've
Right.
just answered everything.
Well, if there's no more questions, we'll wrap it up.
Never mind.
Thanks so much, guys, for taking the time to join the session today. We hope it was helpful. If you have any questions about modules or you'd like any support of creating dashboards, email templates, or workflows, please get in touch with our support team via our support portal. We hope you have a great rest of the day, everyone.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you again soon.